come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes.
Yes, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. This is the Aftermath Show. Again, welcome to the show, everyone. Appreciate you all coming in on your Sunday morning. If you're in bed still, or if you're just getting up or whatnot, appreciate you all coming in. Let me know your views and comments. It's going to be hard to talk about topics at the moment until we actually hear some a bit more news, but we have got some things come out of the club recently, fixture-wise and all that, so make sure you get all your views in and comments in for that, and we'll get straight into it after we get into the video.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, good morning everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing okay on this lovely Sunday morning. Appreciate all the comments already. I'll put the link in the chat if you do want to join in the show today to get your views and comments. We'll get a few comments up to say hello. Anthony, how we doing, mate? Morning. Paul Goodison, how we doing? Morning, mate. Wayne says good morning. Appreciate you all coming in for me and not Jamie, because again, like I said, he's having a few months off. Derek, how we doing? Mr. B, of course. Good morning, Mr. Fox. Lewis says good morning, lads. It was only one lad today, but hopefully people can get in. Ben Morgan, first comment of the day, says note to comment on because we don't know. We don't know oat. Yes, we don't know oat, really, do we? And I think this is where I will say, first of all, make sure to subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and all them good stuff on all the socials and whatnot. But what I will say is, and I feel like I'm maybe looking on the positive end of things because people will say there's no positiveness around or whatnot. But what I will say is, the stuff that's come out at the moment since we got that first announcement of the academy players re-signing or getting scholarships or getting a new contract and the likes of like Stolisic and stuff like that. But what I will say is, from there onwards, we have heard a lot more stuff from the club. It might not be about the relegation or about the manager, but there is more coming out of them than we've heard about before that day for the last 4 weeks. We've obviously heard more fixture list stuff that's coming out, which we needed to know for this season coming up. We're playing Fiorentina, we're playing Peterborough United, and we're playing Leuven, of course, because it's our sister club. Lewis says no news is good news. Well, it depends, because it depends what you're looking at. Because again, there is news coming out. Leicester is actually coming out with some news for next season. Not the news most people want to know. Because we all want to know who is in charge next season and what is going to happen. Because again, I will say today is the date that we signed Enzo Maresca last time we were in the Championship. So, like I say, today was the date we got announced. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about today, because now it's got to the date of when we brought the manager in for the Championship last time. I'd say any later than today, which it probably won't be, is getting a bit too late for me to say. If you're getting someone else in, it needs to be done as soon as possible now. I think it's getting to the late point for me now, getting into the Championship. Andy, morning, how are you doing? Dan Martin says, will you be going to any of the pre-season friendlies? There's only one that I could probably go to at the moment, and that is Fiorentina, because it is actually at the KP. I don't think we can go to. If I'm mistaken, then fair enough. But I don't think you can go to the Seagrove games unless they're actually letting people go in to watch it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the other 2 games at the moment are at Seagrove, which is the holiday camp, of course. Matt says morning. Chaps says morning. How are we all doing? I'll get a few more comments up, and then Nick's joined in, so we'll get him coming in soon. Paul here says, just got back from holiday in Spain, had a City shirt, but lack of City shirt on view was nil. I don't know how to say that. Nil. I'm sorry. I ain't got a clue what you're talking about. But what you're saying is you didn't really wear it, I'm guessing. I might be just too young to understand it, but hey. Terence says, don't like the rumours about the interesting Mabadini. I have heard that. But you never know. And I was wrong. You can go to watch at Seagrave, but there's only 400 allowed, which probably isn't that many at all, but it's probably all you can fit. £5 a ticket. You put fair enough to him, but again, it's not going to be anything great, is it? In my opinion. Louis says, "Look at the positive. Look at the positive. No news is good news." Yep, fair enough. And Aggie does say, "Morning, all quiet at the KP at the moment." Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. I said earlier, but the announcements that's come out about the fixtures and the academy players for me is a start in coming out with stuff that we need to know about. Again, it's not the main information we need to know. We need to know who's the manager for next season. I get that. Like Andy says, is Ruud in charge? Is Ruud still in charge? He is, because we don't know anything else about it. So for me, we can't do too much more until something comes out. And as much as I think it's absolutely embarrassing that we can't, if we don't do it until July 1st, then you've only got like a month to prepare. Not even that, because you're going into pre-season games before then. And like Curtis says, we need a bloody manager. We'd need to buy Young Minton. That's never happening in a million years, mate. Right, we'll bring Nick in. How we doing, Nick?
Oh, I'm all right, mate.
Doing well. Just
Uh,
trying to trod through this end of season stuff, isn't it? Go on, mate. What are you gonna say?
I know everybody's saying we need to announce a new manager and stuff like that. We ain't going to do it until July the 1st because that's when the new financial year starts and the new
It's looking
PSR
like it.
starts.
It's
That's what it
looking like
is.
it.
The
Yeah.
ball's up yet again. So, yeah. And in regards to the friendlies that were announced at Seagrave, even if you can't get a ticket to go and watch it, they'll probably be on YouTube. And even Radio Leicester might even do the commentary on it. So there'll be ways of following it. So.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
that's all there is to talk about, really, is it? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
There's
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like in the title as well. I've put, can we move on? Like, can we just focus on next year? I know people are not going to be happy about who's in charge or whatnot, but we've got to start looking at the championship now and trying to do our best to try and come back up. Because again, there's no point looking in the past and go, like, in my opinion, like Wayne says here, what would you do? Stick with Rude or change the manager now? And right now,
you can't right now. That's the problem.
no, I know not right now, but even if you had a choice on July 1st, would you swap or stick with Rude?
I'd swap myself because I wasn't a Ruding guy at the beginning anyway. He's not who I wanted.
I think for me, I don't think it really changes much in where we'll be next season, whoever comes in my eyes. So, and with how late it's getting, I think you've got to go more on the back of keeping Rude because he's got more background on it now and doing that. If you bring someone else in, it's got to have to be a whole another refresh in how things work and all that. If we did it earlier, fair enough. But
he's got no experience as a championship, though, Reader. He had no experience of that as a player, and he's got no experience of that as a manager.
No,
we need somebody that really knows how to get. I know people are going to say in the comments, well, Enzo didn't have no experience. Fair dues, but he was working under Pep Guardiola and stuff, and do you know what I mean? So
I get it, but then I think I heard Phil say on his show a few weeks ago saying about you could easily spin it and give Rude a good reason to why he should stay, in the fact of like his credentials now from being in the Premier League have been woeful. He needs something to kind of use to try and get his career back up and running, which again isn't down to us, but maybe he wants a bit more of a reassurance that he's going to have another job coming out of Leicester. Again, I'm not going to overhype it, but he beat two of the teams that we needed to beat in the Premier League, which again was relegation, both teams already, so we can't really look at that too much. I don't know. I feel like I don't think we're going to bring in someone who's going to be that experienced in the Championship if it's not Rude, if I'm totally honest. I think Danny Rowe, I guess, is probably the most likely, but you've got to pay him out of his job as well at the moment. So,
Well, you don't know what's on the cards in regards to role, because apparently Sheffield Wednesday are in a bigger financial mess than we are. They're by reports go, they're close to going under, which is quite
yeah,
concerning for a big club like that to go under.
yeah,
But there is other managers out there that you could look at and stuff. And yes, you probably have to pay a compensation to possibly get them out and stuff. But with the teams that they're in, the compensation really probably wouldn't be that massive. I mean, you could look at somebody like Mark Robbins. Look at what the job he did at Coventry, who had no money to play with, similar to what we've got, and he did well there. Of somebody who knows the club very well, and I know it's the other side of the channel. He was on Jack's show this week, and that's Richie Wellens. He came across really, really well, and I tell you what, he was unlucky not to get Leyton Orient promoted
yeah,
in the playoffs. He'd be fantastic, and he knows the club. He's been in the club when we were under Pearson and stuff like that. He knows the fans. The fans know him as well. I think he'd do a good job. And
yeah.
he's got that Pearson about him as well, which is, to be
No,
fair,
okay,
as
yeah.
well, which I think we need. You need that type of Pearson who will kick them up the arse when I can't be bothered today. Pearson
But
wouldn't have stood for it.
do you feel like maybe though, in a way, if we did bring someone else in and he really had the bad start, do you think some fans would be like, why didn't we just keep Rude?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter
It's always
whether
going to
it's
be the same way.
it's always
Whoever
yeah.
happens, yeah, I know what you're saying.
It doesn't matter whether it's our club. Spurs, for example, have appointed Thomas Frank. Yeah, if they start off rubbish, they'll all be saying, "Why didn't we keep Postecoglou? He won us the UEFA Cup."
Mm.
It's the same thing. It doesn't. It's football fans in general. Everybody's fickle
Yeah.
and everybody's not happy, regardless.
No, I get you. Chris Tidd says, "Morning, Reedy and Nick. Why do we continue to play Italian sides where we seem to be a major injury to players in pre-season games?" It's very surprising that we've got another Italian side. We played at Atalanta, I think, like a year ago or 2 years ago in pre-season. I can't remember if there's anyone else we played in pre-season that's Italian. I think we played Parma as well.
We've played Fiorentina as well before.
Yeah. I don't know why we have a likeliness to Italian sides, but I'm not surprised that we're playing OH Leuven. I know that for
Hey,
sure.
just be thankful you've got a home friendly you can go to this season.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
memory
No,
serves me, we didn't have it
there you
last
go.
season.
It was Palermo last season as well. Yeah,
Palermo.
we lost to them as well. Yeah.
But we've not had a KP one for ages.
No. I think the last one was Atalanta, if I'm not mistaken. I think Lookman was playing for them at that time.
Was it the Spanish team? Was it Villarreal? Because Fafana got his leg broke.
That was one of them. Yes. I'm pretty sure it was Atalanta as well, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong. Go on then, Nick. But a lot of people have been saying as well about when Enzo came in, he had a good squad, and I've been debating this a lot recently. I honestly do feel like, other than a big loss in Vardy, I think we've already spoke about this, but other than the big loss in Vardy, I think the team we've got is close to being just as good as it is going up last season in the Championship. I really do. Again,
You're
you've
gonna have
lost
the
Hughes Bihor.
you're gonna have the vultures swirling around for the people like Mads. I don't think Fatawu will go because of obviously I think his ACL injury will put the vultures off. But you've got Mavavidi circling, El Canoes circling. Will Winks and Skip still be here? Vestergaard, he'll still be here? Fast may want to go. Christensen didn't stick around last time we were in the
But maybe
Championship.
it's a good idea that someone like Vestergaard, or I don't think Vestergaard will go because he's 2 years contract. He's basically stuck in his like his retirement. But someone like Fass, I honestly feel like if you take him out of the team, you put someone like Ben Nelson, and I'm not saying he's anywhere near the level,
I'd be starting Ben
but a
Nelson next
youth,
season.
that's what I'm saying, but a youth player might be just as good for us as a Belgium international.
No.
I really feel that,
I
and that's
don't
where,
rate. I don't rate Fast. He's a bomb scare.
no,
He's the
that's
only
what,
play. He's the only player I know that I've seen that when the
mm,
ball's coming up, he'll head it upwards instead of just shanking it out into the stands like any normal defender was. We need
but,
that sort of two centre backs like we had when we had Huth and Morgan.
mhm,
That I saw you put in your tier list as low as you did.
yeah.
You need those that just clear everything. That's what a centre back's supposed to do.
Mm. No, I get you, and that's what I'm saying. Like the likes of Dewsbury, who we had last time in the championship, to if we did keep El Canous, for me, in ways I think El Canous is better, but then in ways he's probably not as good with the passion and side of things, being a Leicester boy. But the quality that El Canous does have, I feel like can probably improve us in a way of creation and whatnot. But I don't know. A lot of people are going to have questions about it, thinking, do we have a better team? People are going to say no because we've lost the likes of Ian Acho and Juice Briol and all
Yeah, but
these sort
Ian
of players.
I don't think. I think we are worse off than when we
We
got
are because we
where
haven't
we.
got a
I think we
striker.
are because we haven't got the striker. We've lost Varda. Daka was he had a couple of goals and stuff in the championship last season, but he wasn't brilliant. Ian Nacho, who I expected to do better than what he did, he was
Yeah,
poor in the championship. You know, we've got to bring in a minimum of two strikers for me this summer.
depends if we get an Margot, doesn't it?
Well, this is it. I mean, and these are the questions we still need to. We're gonna have this hanging over our head.
And that's why I've put Daka on the screen
Yeah,
because he's at the moment he's our first choice striker.
I'll tell you, it's worrying times ahead, Reader. I don't think we'll bounce straight back. I really don't. I think,
I wouldn't be too annoyed if we didn't go straight back up because I think the point deduction alone is going to be a big issue for us.
and the only
Um,
positive I can see from it is that we've got no VAR. That's not, I
mm,
enjoyed last time in the championship with no
mm.
VAR.
No, fair enough, fair
So
enough. Andrew Wright says when is Daka leaving, when his contract ends, because he's not leaving anytime soon. I think it's next year he can go. But again, that's another reason why I will say that the finances and stuff at the club at the moment is ridiculous. We bought him for what, 20 million, and now he's
something
going to be
like
going
that.
for free. So
Yep, yeah, but
another
we did the
one.
same with Yuri Tillemans, same with
Mm,
Söyüncü.
yeah, all these players letting go for
Big money
free. Yeah.
players come in going on, for nothing. It's
See,
shocking.
this is why I don't get why the club doesn't like offer a player a new contract, knowing that he probably will leave in the next year or two, and just make sure you get some money out of them. I get Yuri. I remember Yuri Tillemans got offered a contract and he declined it, didn't he? And
Well,
that's
that's
why he
because
went on
we
a
were paying
free.
him too much.
Yeah, but
Whereas he's on a free, he can name his terms, can't he?
that's why the likes of Chelsea now and other clubs put a 7-year contract on him. So if you want to buy him, you've got to pay him out. That's the main thing about it. That's the annoying thing.
Or surely in this day and age, can't you just put like, okay, we'll give you a 5-year deal, for example, and if you're still here within 4 years, you've got, we put a release clause in your last year that you go for, and then even if he's worth money, money's worth, whether it's £500,000 is better than nothing, in
Hmm.
my opinion.
Yep.
So
If you got 1 million for Daka now, you'd probably take it.
I'd take £1 for Daka, let alone £1 million.
Fair enough. Why are we worried Man City on? How do you mean, Terence? Are you saying that because of the charges they've got, why are we worried about our charges?
Terence,
Because
the
I
reason why
think,
we're worried is Man City will buy them off and put
yeah.
loads of money in the back pockets of the executives all over the country to get off of it. That's why it's
Don't get
corrupt.
don't get me wrong. I think last week on the show, I even said this as well. I said that I I'm got 0.01% there's a chance that we somehow get off it, but I know we're not getting off it.
We're not getting off
We've
of it.
we've been charged for a reason this time, and there was only I think last time we got charged it was more like were we in the wrong or not? Whereas this one is you are in the wrong. Just how many points is it going to be? And obviously it could be more than 12. So um, Callum Barnes says £1 with laughing faces. I'm not shocked again. People have been. I honestly, I don't know why I keep trying to back him. But what if he gets 20 goals next season? You'd be all laughing, wouldn't you?
Really, you'll only get 20 goals if you're playing him on FC 25, mate.
Maybe,
And
maybe.
that's if
Yeah,
only if you're playing amateur difficulty as well.
yeah, maybe. They don't hate already. It's called an opinion. 4 years option to extend. See, I'm saying about the player contracts. It's like players should sign a contract before they leave to try and get some money into the club. Again, Yuri Tillem's left on a free. He was worth what 30 million when we bought him. Just this is probably the biggest reason why we're so awful at the club at the moment, because we just keep letting players go for nothing. And then Terence does say here, promote within to give Andy King. I won't give it to Andy King, if I'm totally honest. I don't
I'd
think he's
keep
got.
him on the coaching stuff.
Yes, I won't give it anywhere
100%.
near the manager role though. And I think that's where we're going to end it, because as much as we're meant to go for half an hour, that's all we could talk about right now.
Well, you can
If
talk
anyone,
about you can talk about your tier list and share it with everybody where you put everybody.
we could, but I don't have the end picture of it.
Do you not? That's a bit
No, I've got a
shocking.
video of it, but it is what it is. Go on, mate. You give me a few examples of where you think I was wrongly put players, because again, once you put a player in that position, you can't go back. So
Well, you put Ranieri, for God's sake, in B tier.
I'll give you the example. I'll give you the reason for that. It's because when Pearson left, everyone was saying that it was mainly a Pearson team, but Ranieri just came in and tinkered stuff. People said that he wasn't all down to him. So I
He
said
was very good at deflecting the pressure off the players, really.
maybe so, maybe so. But
So,
yeah, Ranieri. Yeah, Callum Barnes says, yeah, show is really. You got to check out the socials, because I did the video on there. I would show it now, but it's like 5 minutes long. So make sure you check that out. If I can get a screenshot of it, I'll show you. But I don't think I can.
he's got
Is there any?
Vardy Perez as the top two, which is
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
You got not Albrighton. You got Schmeichel in the top tier,
Yeah.
which is
I
true.
think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Fuchs is on top tier.
I put him in top tier, but it's only because I had the only option to put him top tier at that point.
But you put both the captain and Hoof in B tier.
I think I put Hoof in A tier, didn't I? And put Morgan in B tier.
Either way, mate, those Hoof just for his Spurs when they were at White Hart Lane's an A tier full, top tier.
No, I get it. I just I
on its own.
was being cautious with like the likes of Kante, who I did put in A tier, in S tier, and all
Mhm.
that. So I tried to be cautious, because there could be other players like an Albrighton who I feel probably was better than I don't know, because he probably wasn't better than Morgan in that year. I don't know, but I had to put him in at the time. I had to put him in. It's like when I got Inler. I'm like, oh, I've only got one spot left to put Inler in there. So
Everybody's
it
just
is.
got to be thankful that Vestergaard and Daka weren't in that team, because you would have put
No.
them in S tier.
Yeah, probably. Yes, yeah. Oh, there is another topic that we've not talked about, and Chapster says Norwich bid for Stolarczyk that we turned down,
Good.
and good, because again, I honestly can't see Mads going now, because I don't think there's any much interest in him.
I think Stolarczyk should be number one
No, I
personally,
do.
because
I honestly do.
Mads hasn't been looked right since his injury at Newcastle.
No, and I get that. I said all last season when Stolarczyk started, and the fact of yes that Mads wasn't at fault for a lot of the goals, but when Stolarczyk came in, the mentality and how we played we just felt more secure at the back, and we barely conceded with him in goal. So I would play him first choice next season. If Mads is here, I honestly can't see that happening, whoever the manager is, because I feel like they're just going to put the better goalkeeper who's Danish in goal. But I would honestly give it Stolarczyk next season, because you need to find that permanent number one going through the next few years, and I don't think that would be Mads if it is. So maybe so, but I'm glad we did turn it down. I think it's only because we gave him a contract literally the other week, so that was.
Well, it was Monday, weren't it? He signed a new deal
Yeah.
on Monday.
Sorry, yes.
Monga and all that lot. See, Monga for me was exciting. We'll get to see more Monga.
That's what it feels like. It felt like a few weeks ago, not Monday. Christ.
Well, it is a kicker, right? Why have we not seen what the kit's going to be looking
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
It's Father's Day today.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
For
Yeah.
the fathers,
there you go.
again, how incompetent the financial team is. The complete money spinner that they could have made a fair few quid on it today,
Mm.
and they've not released anything.
Yeah. Like I say, we used to always play in the last game of the season, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we never see that. I think like in the championship, we didn't see the away kits until after we started playing games.
Mm.
That's how bad it was. Normally, you've got to have them out by like now, because
Yeah.
I see Arsenal's been announcing them. I think Liverpool's been announcing them. Everyone's been announcing them, and we're just
Yeah.
sitting back and just.
It's like the King Power's all just been
Is it
padlocked up
because
and
of
it's
the
gone on holiday.
sponsor? Is it because of the sponsor? Because of all
Yeah,
this
but they'll just go back to
noise?
King Power then, like we did last time in the
Well,
championship.
yeah, but are they gonna? I think there was an issue with that last time. We I don't know. We struggled or something, didn't we?
And I thought BC game was only 1 year anyway.
No, there were 3 years, and I think there
Or
were
was
like
there?
two. I think it was like 2 million a year or something like that. I don't know what it was, but yeah. I'm not too sure.
As I
Callum
said, I
says
didn't like it anyway on the
no,
shirt.
no. Monga said Monga will end up going to for a free in a few seasons. I wouldn't be shocked, mate. I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. Like I say, he will be like what? He'll probably be like 18 by then. Because again, he can't have a contract now until he's until next year. So I won't be shocked if he goes on a free. But
No, but that's where you've got to be down on it and let's see how he gets on a season of championship football. You know, Nelson did really well for Oxford last season. You know, it's sink or swim time for Monga. You know, we've seen him 20 minutes here, 5 minutes there and stuff, you know, the back end of last season. But yeah, see what he can do. Also, with the youth sides, there's no fear with them, which is good.
yeah, Terence says get a gift card voucher for the new shirt. Yeah, if you can't buy the shirt, buy the gift voucher and then buy the shirt when it comes out. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. And then Terence did agree, saying, well said for you, Nick. Chris has here. Seems like the current coaches are departing either to Cardiff or Brighton. I'm not too sure what that is.
You know, didn't Cardiff get relegated?
Don't know.
I'm sure they got relegated to League One.
I'm not
So
too sure.
that does surprise me. But Brighton, you can't turn them down for going back up to the Premier League.
Oh, okay. So Chapster here does say Adidas have announced their 25-26 League 2 and 3 strip base design already. So the away one will be one of them. It's on their German site. I remember it saying that like the likes of Forest and whatnot had basically the same design as ours, just with the different colours. So that might be right. I will go check it out after this and see what it is, but I don't know.
I just think you'd think with I mean, how many years we've been with Adidas now? It's got to be over what 5, 6 seasons. You'd think we'd have something a bit more not bog standard looking, like
Creative,
you know,
yeah. Bit more personalised.
Even if it was like what Leeds got for God's sake in the Championship, they got their retro badge. Why can't we have a retro badge on one of the shirts? You know, it's just so. Some of them are so boring and dull.
Yeah.
Bring back
Yeah.
Fox Leisure.
Yeah. AD Bramley says, is Jamie retired now? No, he's not. He's just having a break because he's getting so busy at work.
Cleaning his bar.
Yeah, he's drinking all of his beer in his bar. And then he'll be back in a few months when the season starts again. Yeah, as well. Brian Barry Murphy, if you say his name right, went to Plymouth. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's gone.
So again, there's like little for me. There's little bits of like news that it's just not important, but at least they're coming out with stuff in a way. But
the only positive we can all say is we didn't get Russell Martin, so
yeah, and we didn't lose Monga.
Exactly.
There we go.
So.
Right, Nick, I appreciate coming on.
All right, bud.
It was a hard one to do because there's just so much crap to talk about, but it is what it is.
It's going to be the same next Sunday, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm going to try and think of something else to do next Sunday. I'll
tell you what, you could come up with like I don't know, your top for the last 5, 6 seasons. Do your 1 to 11 your favourite players from the last 5 or 6 seasons or something.
I could do. Yeah, fair enough. I'll think about doing that. Right, Nick. Appreciate you coming on. I'll see you around posting my letters.
Yeah, I'll post you rubbish.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
Oh, there you go, bud.
Cheers. There we go, guys. Appreciate you all coming on again. What another show done. Have you still got your Fox Leisure 92 Kalugnik? Oh, he's just gone. If he's in the chat, maybe so. Let us know. Players won't do that as they can get better wages when they're on a free. Yeah, I agree. Cuppa going down. You never know. You never know. Right, guys. Appreciate you coming on. We'll catch you tomorrow with Phil on his show. So catch you all soon. Appreciate it. See you in a bit, guys. Bye.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.